Okay, this is Ellie back with more Okami, because we all know you miss me so much. um, yep, here we are. Last time, if you don't remember, because it was a while ago, we were here in Kamiki, and we did the basic first Kamiki mission, fixing Kushi's, water wheel, and now we're heading up into Shinshu Fields, and we'll just see how that goes. First I'm going to show you this whole thing. The menus don't have much in the way of equipment just yet, or tools. The divine energy, also we did that already. The celestial brush techniques, got 3, and then here's the interesting thing. This is the interesting screen. The logbook. It has the journal, which is Easton's journal, and it's where all our stuff is. That'll be fortunes, and that'll be monster lists. Sort of like quests. So it's where are we in the plot? Where just like little extra tidbits of info, and then quests. Here, what Easton shows you is just the snippet of dialogue where you get the quest. It's really useful if you're like me and go away from games for like a year, when you can go back and remember where you are and what you're doing. It's honestly the most handy like that. The travel guide. This is really interesting. We don't have much yet on it. Just little travel tips. Number 1. There are a few places in this wide world where I have not set foot. The beginning and the end are the most interesting bits. It tells you hints. My travels have granted me extensive knowledge. I have endeavored to record this knowledge in a series of scrolls. And then stuff we know. The travel guide is mostly interesting because of plot events later on. It's helpful along the way, and we'll learn more about it in this episode. But overall, we don't really need to care that much right now. Otherwise, in this section of the menu, the fan menu, we've got the bestiary. Shows you monsters who fought, like here's the green imps. It's all very interesting in a world building sense. In general, the bestiary is really most helpful because, remember the demon fangs that you got for doing special moves during the death shot? Sometimes the bestiary gives you hints for what to do to get those, and the most effective way of fighting. Like here it says, cut the strings with the brush, which is what we do. Otherwise, a bunch of things were going to be filled in, treasures and fish and whatnot. Little beasties, the percentages, what percent of them out in the world we've fed and made them like us, because we want all the beasties to like us, if possible. The fan menu is helpful, and I'm probably not going to be spending that much time in it, on camera anyway. Here's Shinshu Field. Most beautiful. It's a little bit iffy right now, you may have noticed. I don't actually look at the map much, but right here it's useful because what Ethan wants us to see, or what the game wants us to see, is that big splotch of red and black and probably not anything good. And also that little, I don't know if you saw, but there's another guardian sapling up there, and this isn't a complicated world map. First guardian sapling. One of the things I really like about the Okami world map is that compared to a lot of games, like I've been playing a bit of Fallout New Vegas, compared to a lot of games, even without the map, that's with powers beyond even a god. Hint, hint, boss fight. Anyway, even without the map, in Okami World, all the lines are very clear, and it's really easy to work your way around. There isn't that much confusion in the landscape. Here are the demon scrolls. I'm pretty sure they only go towards you at night. The color indicates difficulty level. I'm just gonna jump in this one, show you what's up. It's basically, so the random encounters in this game are pretty much are really random, as random encounters go. Aren't really random. You can pretty much choose to have a random encounter or not. They're good for trying out new techniques. They're good for getting yen if you're low. Although personally I have other preferred ways of making money. I like fishing, and selling things, but that doesn't come in until later. Has everyone been turned to stones? Just like in Kamiki. With this cursed stone of evil. Let's just pop into the cursed stone here. Yeah. Regular cursed stone. Evil here is far worse. It would curse a normal person in a flash. We are not normal people. We are a tiny magic person and a wolf god magic person. See that little icon above my head? That's the same thing that shows up when you're drowning. And also my ink was going down. If you stay in a cursed zone long enough, and if you have enough health to stay in a cursed zone long enough, I should say, you'll turn back into a normal wolf. That's bad. Nameless man, you are not cursed. That's good. I like not cursed. Top of wood and communing with nature. Huge gust of wind blew up out of nowhere. Don't know what happened next, but when I came to, it was like this. His art workshop. He's a potter. It's just across the street. Vanish. Oh, across the street. All he wants is to live with nature in peace, man. But he can't. Figure running from the lake toward Kamiki. As this game goes on, we get more and more hints about what happened to cause all of this cursed zone business. Entrance to a place called Hana Valley. Crystal brawl that makes plants grow. I wonder what use we could have for something like that. Susano, not known for his gardening. And yet. Lucky for us, we are a pretty self-sufficient wolf god, and we know our way around. Hana Valley isn't that much trouble, honestly. There aren't really many fights in this game that are too much trouble, or at least not for me. I understand that, especially depending on what console you play it with, a lot of people have some trouble with the ink bits. Okay, here's some imps. And fascinating world building, because apparently imps are musicians. And they also drink, because Kushi mentioned giving some of them some of her sake, which, like, Kushi, why? Here we go, just going for all the demon fangs. Demon fangs are one of the things where, by the time you can use them, you really want what you can get with them. It's all because it's all the specialty items that all the basically accessories are what you get with demon fangs most of the time. That didn't work. Okay, we tried to do our job and then yet. Right. So basically, demon fangs are what you use to buy your fancy accessories that grant you cool abilities. Ooh, fish feedback. And if you aren't collecting them along the way, or rather, if you are collecting them along the way, by the time you get to the first demon fang trader, you've got issues. Or if you are collecting them along the way, you have like 40 of them, you're fine. And now it is time to play baseball. Because sports? Point goal? Yes, Isun. I did in fact use Power Slash to hit the tree's fruit right back at it. They will become revived if you stick around too long. It's... whoops. Too early. Almost too late. The trees are kind of a pain, but they won't be for long, don't worry. There's one over to my left here, but there's nothing down there, so we're just gonna bypass it for now. It's mostly there to be sneaky for a thing later on. Statue's all dirty. Kind of feel sorry for it standing in a place like this. Let's head on up. And oh hey, it is something on the wall. And that looks like our buddy Susano. Hey dude, what's up? Monsters. Monsters is what's up, apparently. And a new friend. I really want to make a Homestuck reference here, especially because it's yellow. These are the yellow imps. And I feel like it would be really bad of me to do that, but just know it could have happened. It could have. I could have gone there. I didn't, because I was never really a Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff person, Homestuck person, but the potential was there. However, I am a caring and magnanimous YouTube video provider. Oh, whoops. Missed the jump there. Okay. Now, the way to fight these ones is they run around on the ground. Just wait in one place, and then right now, when they start popping up, just jump over their heads, and they get super confused, and then you can hit them out of the ground. If they're in the ground, you've just got to pay attention, because their smash thing is pretty easily avoidable when you just jump over it, but it's a pain, and no one really wants to get caught up in that. You get thrown around a bit. Oh, look, it's a wall hanging. We all just love tapestries. And now we can talk to Susano. Sus, what are we doing here? We don't want to go home. I also don't want to be your apprentice. I'm awesome, and you are awesome in a different way, let's say. Perfect place to hide. I mean to train. Because we are strong, and we train. And Susano is Susano. I threw around here somewhere. What do we want? I want to make everything pretty and nice. Something not right, don't you think? There's something missing, possibly in that big space in the sky. I wonder. That was a really good circle for me. I really need to stop ending every comment with Oh well. Okay then. And on we go. How did that happen? It is a mystery. Okay. Yes, Susanna. Follow that mediocre swordsman. Alright, and it is day. When everything is cursed, it's really hard to tell whether it's night or day. This water is... I wanted to see what would happen if you jumped in the water if it was cursed. It's not cursed, it's just gross. Oh look, it's a baby tree. I wonder whatever shall we do with this baby tree. What a strange place. Okay, Secret Cherry Tree Cascade. If you heard laughter just then, that was Beth, who was like, sure, I can be quiet while you record. And now she is giving me a look because I am absolutely telling everyone that she cannot. But, okay. Onwards. So, question. How did Susano get in here? Because we just cut the gate. Is there a key? Is there a latch somewhere? Or a pulley system? Foul Beast. How did you get in here? Foul Beast? It is a bear that is asleep, standing up on a ball. Okay then. That's just a thing we're going to have to accept, I guess. They're very cute. And I like them a lot. They're sleepy bears. That's the best name. Your blade thirsts for being not made out of wood is what your blade thirsts for. Time to make Susano think he's good at things. Susano is not good at things. And I am sorry for what I'm about to do to you, poor bear. You are going to get exploding imploded. Okay. Alright. Revel in your greatness. There you go, Susano. It's real skill you showed right there. Me too, Okami. Me too. Susano is just... Susano, and you just gotta accept this. And accept that sometimes your characters are just who they are. One of the interesting things about this game to me is that I'm never sure who I should be calling a main character. Is it... like, is Amy a main character? I don't know, because she's the player character, but she doesn't have dialogue? I don't know. We'll come back to that later. Anyway, now here's the fun bit. A puzzle bit that always reminds me of something I heard about happening with regard to Egyptologists in Egypt with regard to the building of the pyramids, because so there were and are images showing people dragging stone for pyramid building and people in front of them pouring something on the ground, and the archaeologists and who's were like, that must be a dedication to a god. It's something religious, it's a ceremony, it's a ritual. Fun fact, it's a lot easier to move stone on sand if you pour water on the sand, because it slides. And that's literally what was being illustrated. It's step by step, and then pour water onto the sand, and then move the stone along the sand, because otherwise it's pretty difficult. This is actually a tricky camera angle to get right here, and I'm never sure if my circles are going to work, but hey, that was a circle. That worked. And magic. It's so nice and pretty. Proper guardian sapling right here. Yes, it is a guardian sapling. You are right. Well, Sakuya did say to restore them. You know, technically, I don't think it wouldn't have to go all dark for us to get the constellations. I mean, the stars are sort of there wherever the sky looks like that's what makes them stars, but oh well, here we go. Brush God number 3. The sunrise. We have, which makes 4 techniques, because sunrise is just Amy's. Origin of all that is good and mother to us all. I think Sakigami is the first brush god to use that phrase. He will not, well, she? I don't know. Sakigami will not be the last. That's pretty much the recurring greeting from the brush gods to Amaterasu. And here, I'm very excited. We're getting green sprout. Green sprout is probably my favorite collection of techniques. Just not the most useful per se, but they're really pretty. And they have some of my favorite little side missions to get extras. I mean, Bloom is always gorgeous, and let's just watch this in silence for a bit. Okay. Bloom is always gorgeous, and it's also one of the most... All of the brush techniques are required at some point, but Bloom is the most recurringly, I don't know, words. It's the most plot relevant the most frequently, because every time you want to lift a cursed area with the power of nature, you use Bloom. It shows up less in the late game for obvious reasons, but every time you enter somewhere new, pretty much, there's something to do with Bloom. There we go, and we can pop back into the water, which is nice and splashy, and we are a water wolf, and we will not go over the edge. You can't actually drop down there, but it's annoying to run into walls. Okay, here's for this fight again, because every time we did a fight coming up to the Guardian Sapling, if you'll remember, the monsters went away and the world tried to be restored, and then they came back because of the curse zone and because it was so strong. Boing. Now that the world as a whole is amenable to restoration, we'll have much better luck, as we will see. That was a good fight. Boars. Little boarlets! The little boarlets. The little boarlets might be my favorite animal, and I'll show you why. Okay, we're gonna feed them. No animal tells you what to use to feed it. They'll refuse some feed bags, but really it's common sense and what they might eat. Like, not exactly, but oh my gosh, you can carry them. I mean, I knew you can carry them, but they're so cute. They're so cute and small and stripy. And then they just sort of scuttle off. They're so cute. Anyway. Right, feed bags. It's like, what do cats eat? Meat or fish? What do rabbits eat? Herbs. It's very intuitive. As long as you've, like, heard of the animal before. I'm gonna try to avoid some of those foods. But okay, see that green smoke? That's green spout. And here, look, if you put a dot, tree. And then if you do a line, flowers. We're gonna learn about that in a travel guide in a sec. Okay, that's proof that it's been watching over us for ages. Isun enjoys... I don't know if Isun did that on purpose. But coming up, remember, it's all dirty. It's a pity no one's taking care of things. But now that the world is nice, the statue is nice. Okay, here's a little bit of dead grass. And what we're gonna do is bloom it. Not with a circle, though. As he says, just fill it in. Sometimes this is tricky. If you fill it in too little or not well distributed enough, sometimes the bloom doesn't realize that's what you're trying to do. So I usually just sort of press triangle and hold until I've run out of ink. Would you look at that? Green spout tips. Travel guide section 2. Here's the poking holes, and then what I just told you. Scroll in here too. If this were the real thing. It's interesting. And you might want to keep in mind that the travel guide is numbered. And if you do it right, the way you pick up the travel guide follows the numbers. That went wrong. So, for some reason, the way this travel guide is found in the wild follows the path we're taking. It's up to you to speculate. I did it again. Did that the way up to. Here's more with the trees that we can also do our thing with. it's a good idea in any area to go and bloom as many things as possible, both because you may be noticing we're getting praise from it, and because you can get cool things. Ooh, here's a fun trick. If you line up trees properly, then you can do something like that and bloom 2 at once. It's not the easiest way to go about it, but I think it's fine. I feel kind of bad breaking up the party, honestly. Like, I gotta, but I feel kind of bad. Whoops, that Demon Fang went a bit farther away than I wanted it to. I'm probably not going to be able to get it in time, because items do fade away after a while. See, I grabbed that one, but that Demon Fang that I dropped back here, no go. Badoo. Fighting imps. The music thing is fascinating. Honestly, the stories behind the assorted beasties that you find are pretty interesting. The bestiary tells you, like, the origin of them, and it's sort of intended to not seem real, but it is, I don't know, it's just cool on a world building level. I almost didn't notice that second tree there, perfectly lined up for a double bloom. I hear little monkeys. I'm just gonna bloom these and then, oops, and then go feed them. They're so cute. I like the little monkeys. I like every animal, basically. Oops, I'm trying to avoid some of the food because I do want to leave room for the cherry cakes back in Kamiki at Mrs. Orange's house. I'm gonna use the monkeys will eat anything. I think they might be the only one that does, not sure. And I'm pretty sure it's only monkeys and cats that eat fish. Again, not sure. Feel free to correct me. They're the only ones I've ever fed fish. Anyway, in any case, okay. Plop over here. Swimmy. It would be nice to have more swimming stamina. Let's just go for the chest first. Digging tips. What it's going to be telling us is what I'm telling you right now, is these clovers, that green spot of light is clover. And then you bloom it and you get praise. Sometimes at night, and only at night, a white spot of light will shine down, and that points you to treasure if you dig. Under the white spots of light, the treasure, you can actually see that when it's not light. Oh, we just got all the blooming. Sometimes you can see the treasure when it's not night, but just by, like, buried corners and tops of treasure chests, but not always. That little flicker there was me hitting the map button, L2, which, it happens. Just gotta deal with it. Okay, and see that chest that popped up is why it's always worthwhile to bloom all the trees and make sure all the world is nice. Sometimes you get something like that sun fragment, sometimes you get, like, I think if you bloom all the trees in Shinshu, and we'll be finding out probably next episode, you get more praise. Or maybe it's Kamiki. What you get varies, but you always get a reward for moving an area more towards natural balance. I am running into fire. Good thing I am a god wolf and not a real wolf. That would hurt. Okay. There's a clover over here, and it's getting on towards night. Not me playing, but the game here. This clover is actually really cute because you guys never see it, but if you've played the game, you know. When it boots up, one of the designer logo or developer logos it shows is for clover, and it does the same thing. The do clover. It's very cute. Okay, that was another episode. See you when I see you.